Girl, the prettiest women have the hardest time dating. And I should know as a dating coach. I have beautiful women in my program to the point where I am thinking and questioning my own sexuality, girl. And there's a reason for that. And I wanted to go through that. Most of the time, what will happen is people date based on attraction level, first and foremost. It's a short term way of thinking about dating, which is totally fine, right? And the apps don't help with that. What happens though is, like, let's say you're a 9 on the attractiveness level. As a woman, women focus on people that are at their level or one notch higher. So you're only going to focus on 9s and 10s, which only represent like 5% of the population, right? Whereas a man actually will look at his level, but like 4 notches down. So he's looking at 9s, 8s, 7s, 6s, and even some 5s, right? And so what happens is that because these 9 men are focused on all of these women, you have more competition. And some of the 5s and 6s will actually give up sex quicker and easier. So he will focus on them first and foremost, especially if he's not ready to date. If you're a 9 woman, what will happen is the guys that are from a 1 to an 8 will be too intimidated to even approach you and think that you're too expensive. So they won't even engage with you. And even if you're in a relationship, a lot of these guys will be really like insecure because you're going to continue to get a lot of attention. So it's really difficult to be dating and in a relationship as a pretty woman. It's not impossible though. And the way that I want you all to think about it, instead of just like focusing on attraction first and foremost, I want you to focus on pie. Physical, intellectual, and emotional. And the average of those scores, let's say going from a 0 to 10, will be your score and the guy's score. Now, I work with Black and brown women, and oftentimes very smart, very beautiful, but the emotional component is lacking based on how we're raised. So that's what I do to help them get to a 7, 8, 9 in their pie rating. So here's what I want you to understand. Men are not wanting a 9 or a 10 physically. Like, for a long-term focus, they really want a 7 or an 8. So please understand that our work is to level up that emotional component so that you can be quote unquote ready for an amazing relationship. Now, what does this have to do with mid-ugly men? This is what is so funny. Sometimes you will see really beautiful women with guys that you would consider mid-ugly. This is because they have given those 5, 6, 7, 5s and 6s a chance. And what happens is over time, because they're giving people more chances, they're able to understand that these guys have a super high intellect and emotional quotient, as well as the fact that with more time, that they actually become more and more attractive. So that 6 becomes a 9, that 5 becomes an 8. So, but oftentimes we're not giving ourselves that time and that opportunity to see a guy's pie rating. But for the women that do, that are very beautiful, really pretty, that's why you see a lot of them with the quote-unquote mid-ugly guys. I hope that helps explain why it is really difficult to date while you're pretty and the science behind mid-ugly men. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, TikTok, and if you need help leveling up your emotional quotient, definitely.
So there you have it, y'all. Dating coach Anwar gave us some insight on why pretty women struggle the most in relationships or in dating. But also, I want to add that I seen this video a couple days ago, and it's from a content creator that goes by the name of Bash in the Cut with 2 H's. And he titled his video, "If you are attractive, your relationships are fake as hell." And I want to give an example about why this is the truth. Because after following a little bit of Mariah the Scientist and Young Thug whole proposal, okay, if y'all don't know who they are, if you don't know who Mariah the Scientist is, she's a singer, and Young Thug, he's a rapper, and he went to prison recently and just got released. Young Thug, he got some cool hits. I like his songs. I do. I don't think he's attractive, none whatsoever. But like I've said before, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But let's be real. He ain't all that. But Mariah the Scientist, oh yeah, she's pretty for sure. She's pretty for show. Okay. You know, for real. And shoot, I'd say she's about as pretty as me. I wouldn't say she is as pretty as me, but I'm not trying to compare myself. But what I want to say is, I personally don't think that was appropriate time to do a proposal, considering that was her big night, okay? Yeah. She was performing on stage, and here he goes crawling up on the stage like the buggy looks like. I'm just kidding. No, but okay, let's be serious. Like, people were saying, like, you know, that wasn't cool. He wanted to make it about him. And the reason why people have been, you know, bashing him, coming for him, is because he cheated on her while in jail with multiple women, okay? Excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to fix my eyelashes. But an ugly ass, excuse my language, ugly ass mother father, a ugly ass mother trucker cheating on me. Oh, baby, and I know about it, and it's public to everybody else. You better tread motherfucking lightly. Excuse me. You better tread freaking lightly, okay? You better be careful with me, motherfucker. All right. Excuse my language, but you better freaking recognize. Yeah, he's a really good rapper. Yeah. Kudos to him. He has kids with other women, okay? That's already a mess. Yes, and we've been there, ladies. But marrying this man, and y'all, that ring is ugly as shiggity. Okay? Like, and she was low-key, like, taken aback about it. And he kind of just pulled her in and was like, yeah, take this ring, because you're not about to embarrass me in front of all these people. And that's kind of what people were saying in the comments and stuff like that. And I was like, yep, sounds about right. You know, very narcissistic, very much toxic, in my opinion, because it's just like, to me, it's a shut up ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a ring to basically reel her in to his mess. That, you know, I feel as though if I was her, oh yes, I would walk away immediately, and I would have said no, sir. No. He is absolutely a pookie for all this mess that he has done to her, and she doesn't deserve it. And if he thinks he's gonna cheat on her while they're married, oh, he better think again. Because that is not what marriage is about. But a lot of people out here, they're not taking marriage seriously, unfortunately and sadly. They need to really reevaluate their whole life, because what's the point? What's the point of getting married if you're gonna cheat? But and people were saying, they were comparing her and him Mariah and Thug to Cardi B and Offset. Of course. They are the poster child of a big marriage fail. A big fail on marriage. And I think they compared them because it happened basically the same way. I don't mean to laugh at their pain. I really don't. But it's just kind of funny because I literally seen her on stage, and I guess she was performing. I'm talking about Cardi B. And then, you know, Offset just comes on there and pops a question, and she just goes wild. I'm like, oh, I love that for her in that moment. But we all know how that went. And if you don't know, do your research. They're not together, but they're still married. But Cardi's having a child with, yeah, or she's had the child with what's his name? Freaking, his name is escaping me right now. Freaking, what is his name, you guys? Stefan Diggs. There we go. Yep. But yeah, anyway, who's to really say that Mariah is gonna end up like Cardi and Offset, okay? But the signs are there. The signs are definitely there, okay? Us pretty women, attractive folk out there, us chosen ones, we really have to ask God if, you know, this person is the person for us from here on out, because we've rushed into things, you know, and it's because, you know, we're young and we think that people have the same heart as us chosen ones, and not all attractive people have a good heart, have a big heart. But us pretty women that are chosen ones, I just want to say, like, it's going to be even harder for us. And we just have to be more choosy and really use our discernment that God gave us. But we got to keep our head up and keep hope alive, because that's just naturally what we do. We have a light about us. We've been through darkest of times with some crazy folks, but that hasn't stopped us from, you know, still searching and believing that we'll find our person one day. And so I just want to end this video by saying that just keep building your relationship up with God, because He will put the right person in our lives at the right time. You better mother freaking believe it. All right. I guess I'm out of here, you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care. Keep shining bright, starberries. And to chosen ones, we shall soon unite.